guys, so I completed every single Black Ops 3 Zombies map for the first time. And it was nice because I really haven't been following the story at all, and just completing these Easter eggs, it's made me understand the Ether story a lot better, because mainly I just go for high rounds. And of course, we're starting off with Shadows of Evil, how it all began. I go in beast mode and completely fail trying to hit that, so I just slap that and then slap the summoning key box, and then I just make this jump and fail, of course, because I'm absolutely trash. Because of how trash I am, I just decided to fast restart. But I mean, hey, at least I'm playing as an actual good character, and probably the best character on Shadows of Evil, Nero. Also, yes, as you see, I just leveled up right there. Yeah, I'm playing online because I have the boy client. It basically emulates the online service, so basically you can play it online completely safely, and it will be released for everyone at the end of summer, of course, and that's wonderful. If you want to get it right now, though, you have to pay $5, but I mean, I'm gonna be honest, it's the best $5 of your life. It lets you play Black Ops 3 completely safe, free from the hackers. I pick up the summoning key, and now that I've played all the Easter eggs, I know that the summoning key is actually really important. I get to do my first ritual, of course, so I can get Pack-a-Punch. That's the first step of the Easter egg. I completed it, grabbed my first gate worm, and then end the remainder of round 1. I grabbed the RK5 just for safety measures. I open up the Footlight District, zap Juggernog, and then slap at this box so I can get the toupee, which is used to get my second ritual done. Of course, we're not done with this beast mode yet. To maximize everything, we turn on the Burlesque, which is the last bit of beast mode that we have, so we maximize everything that we have, so we have more beast modes in the early rounds. Also, I just gotta say, look at my movement. It's so good. And then I start my second ritual. I complete it, I grab my second gate worm, and then a Margo spawns in, which can easily be taken care of because, like I said before, I bought that RK5 so I could deal with the Margo. I also used the train for some reason when I didn't have to. I guess it was just my muscle memory kicking in because I've done Shadows around 100 and you have to keep the waterfront district closed, so I just used the train, but it's not that bad. I'm getting the symbols as well, so I guess that's also why I used it, but then again, you can get all the beast mode symbols. No! You can literally get all the sword symbols just by going in beast mode, and there's like techniques to get them just while being in beast mode so you don't waste time for speedrunning the Easter eggs on this map, which is crazy, but it doesn't really matter that much for me. I'm just trying to complete it and not speedrun it, but if you want to see a video of me speedrunning every Easter egg on every Black Ops 3 Zombies map, then let me know. I'd be happy to do that. I go in beast mode again, and then I use this beast mode to slap open this door, and then of course get the champion's belt so I can do my third ritual. I also don't know how I had enough beast mode time to get open that octopus statue, but it's pretty nice that I was able to do that. I mean, really, when you play Shadows of Evil a lot, you start to learn the best pathways you can take with beast mode, which is pretty much why I was able to do that. And yes, I did buy the HPK. It's like literally one of my favorite weapons on this game, if I'm being honest, and I completed my third ritual. It's also funny because there's a Bowie knife location in that room, but literally I've never seen anyone buy it at all, which is funny. The Bowie knife, just for some reason, just does not feel the same on this map. I don't know why. Use the train again to travel to the canals, which lets me get my last sword symbol, which is awesome. I also get my last shield part. Yes, as you see, I don't have Juggernog yet, so it's nice to have the shield on my back so I take less damage. And of course, it's good to know that you can also shock that electrical box right there, which is great. I also pick up the Director's Badge. If you didn't know, all 4 of the items that you pick up to get the Legate Worms, which lets you get Pack-a-Punch, relate to the characters that you play as. For example, the Director's Badge relates to Jackie Vincent. The Championship Belt that you pick up, it relates to Floyd, and then the toupee that you pick up relates to Jessica Rose, but I don't know how that would relate to her. I think it relates to a man in her life. I don't really know. Then the last thing that you pick up is, wait, what is it called? Ah, yes, the last item that you pick up is the golden fountain pen. Well, the first item that you pick up, and it's related to Nero. Also, yes, while I was talking about that, you may have noticed that I picked up the Apothecary Egg so I can start getting the sword. I do my last ritual, and at the same time, if you have the Apothecary Egg, you can place it into the octopus statue, and then as you're killing keepers, they count as souls towards your Apothecary Egg, which is awesome.
I am becoming the speedrunner. I'm going to get the world record. I'm going to get a sub 20 run. Let's go.
I'm round 6. I do decide to buy all my perks, so I buy Juggernog, of course, starting off. I buy Quick Revive just in case I go down. It's very unlikely that I will because this map I'm so comfortable with. But I mean, I've died to pretty stupid stuff before. Like I've been on the meatball steps and then just 5 meatballs just came rolling at me, and I died instantly. So you can never be too careful. I also buy the KRM because it's really, really useful for the meatball step. I mean, seriously, every single speedrunner uses it. For the high rounds, not really, but I mean, this is an Easter egg video, not a high round video. And the last perk that I buy is kind of surprising to me. I buy double tap, which honestly was not a bad decision. It makes my life a lot easier, and I'm pretty sure this is my first time buying double tap on Shadows of Evil. Then we do the last ritual, of course, which opens up Pack-a-Punch. And then after completing the ritual, the Shadow Man betrays us, and he turns into a sort of apothecary looking thing. And every single time, it doesn't matter what round you're on, a Margot will always spawn in after you complete the Pack-a-Punch ritual. But, I mean, the KRM Pack-a-Punch is just so broken on the early rounds when it comes to killing the Margos. It's actually ridiculous. Now I'm doing the process of upgrading my shield. There's also this really cool thing you can do with the unupgraded shield, which literally, as you can see on the screen, it literally lets you spam the crap out of it. And it is used for the speedrunning round 100. In round 14, I wasn't planning on getting it, but I got the last part to the Apothecary Servant, so I just decided to build it because why not? It's just nice to hold and nice to have in case I get trapped in the corner. But other than that, it really doesn't help me. It's really my KRM that's going to be doing all the work. I then grab my upgraded sword called the Reborn Sword, and then I am able to interact with this book that just randomly spawned in like that, and it allows me to do the next step, which is basically the last step. The boss fight is so easy on this map. Basically, just pick up this flag. It starts a thing where no more zombies spawn in, only meatballs and parasites can spawn, and then the Shadow Man also tries to stop you. And as you can see, I'm running to where I need to go. Basically, you just place it where there's just purple lighting all over the place, and then you just have to defend it for, I don't even know, 20 seconds, 30 seconds. And as you see, the Shadow Man tries to stop you, just shoot him. It's really easy, and I'm just spamming my Apothecary Servant. And then basically once you do that twice, then you go back to where you're trying to go. So because I was going in this direction, I had to go to Nero's place, and then there's a keeper there waiting for you, and then just fills him up, and then he turns into an actual keeper instead of a ghost. And you basically just have to repeat that 4 times. It's really easy, if I'm being honest. You do have to wait around once you do it once, which sucks, but it doesn't really matter that much. It's so easy progressing the rounds with the Apothecary Servant. And then once you complete filling up all the keepers so they become real keepers, you just interact with one of them, it gives them the sword, and then you can start doing the Shadow Man boss fight, which is ridiculously easy. Basically, after about 5 seconds of you interacting with the keepers, they will start attacking the Shadow Man, and then it gets rid of his bubble, which is sort of protecting him. And then you just have to fire at him. You only have a limited amount of time, so you got to do it pretty fast. And then once you get him in that part, you interact with it, and it gets rid of all the Margos, all the zombies, and then he gets trapped in the summoning key. And that's basically where the Easter egg ends for solo. If you want to do the full Easter egg, you need to have 4 players, which sucks. I hate Easter eggs that do that. But because I have literally no friends to play with to do the Easter egg, I mean, where am I going to find 3 people? Seriously. Basically, what happens is when you complete the Easter egg, the cutscene plays, and then Richtofen comes in, he steals the summoning key from a keeper, which is pretty funny. That was Shadows of Evil, though. Moving on to the Giant. The Giant. This map does have an Easter egg, it's just that it takes 10 minutes to do and it's ridiculously easy. But the opening cutscene starts off with, like, basically it's showing Ultimus, Richtofen, and Primus crew, except for Primus Richtofen, like, trying to stop Ultimus Richtofen, but then he pushed the teleporter, it opens the teleporter and shows Primus Richtofen, and then he just instantly shoots his Ultimus self in the head. There's not really much I have to say for this Easter egg, other than all you have to do is get Pack-a-Punch open, get a Pack-a-Punch gun, and then from there, the Easter egg's basically over. I do stay to round 6. I also have a double points and an insta-kill, which is like one of the best feelings ever in COD Zombies on the early rounds at least. Round 7 I buy Juggernaut, which, just to be on the safe side, of course, the zombies do swipe pretty fast in this game. Out of all the weapons, I chose the Pack-a-Punch, I chose the Pack-a-Punch Cuda, and basically, once you get a Pack-a-Punch weapon, you just shoot around that area. And I'm pretty sure this is Maxis talking. I'm not 100% sure, though. And then he tells you he wants to play a game of hide and seek, and that's the last words that a girl said. I'm pretty sure that he's referring to Samantha Maxis. And basically, you just gotta look around the map for 3 different items, and then once you find all of them, you complete the Easter egg. You just have to grab the Annihilator from the furnace, and that's it. The first location is in here. It's a monkey bomb, and that's basically it. The second location is a little hard to see, but once again, it's just a teddy bear. It's pretty easy to see anyways, and then you shoot it, and then there's one more. Final one's in here, and then once you shoot, you'll get a final quote saying Max knows when and where we are, and that we'll try to secure a better future. And after the quote, you just basically go to this furnace, pick up the annihilator, and then you complete the Easter egg just like that. Very simple and easy Easter egg. That was the giant. Moving on to DE. Now the intro cutscene for eisendrache starts off with these characters in a truck holding Ultimus Dempsey, and we have the Primus characters inside the Origins robot, which they got from the giant. The reason they're chasing down the truck is because they want Ultimus Dempsey, because they need his soul to restore the universe. But our Origins robot gets destroyed by a rocket launcher, so now we have to survive in D. And at the beginning, you can notice that there's a rocket that's launching off. That's Ultimus Dempsey that's inside there. Nothing really to say. I mostly do the same thing every single time. Shoot the zombies 4 times on round 1 and then knife them to maximize points. I also hit the gobblegum machine just so I can have anywhere but here or in plain sight to save my life in case I got trapped in the corner. On round 3, I do start opening up the map as early as possible so I can get the dragons then, of course, as early as possible. I do get my first shield part as well, and then I start doing my first dragon head, of course. You only have to kill 8 zombies around him and then he eats all of them and then he disappears, and then you're done the dragon head. It's as easy as that. Then I finished my first dragon head, which is awesome. On round 4, I turn on the power. I then make my way back to where the first dragon head was, because when you turn on power, there's a door that opens around it, so you can easily get down here without wasting any points. And I didn't have any points to open up the castle, or that castle area where the second dragon head is, so I just started doing my third dragon head. I also did get a double points and insta kill somehow again, which is amazing. I managed to get 4,000 points from that, so with that 4,000 points, I bought Juggernog, of course, to be on the safe side. I also got my first dog ground on round 5, which is insane. That's only happened to me a few times, especially on eisendrache, considering the rounds that you can get it are between 5 and 13, so the fact that I got it the earliest is amazing to me. And on round 6, I started doing my last dragon head, and I'm gonna be honest, I've never had to do a ward up like this on round 6. I've never seen this many zombies together on round 6. I mainly just kill them one by one, but it's pretty cool to see this. But really, this is the only time you're gonna do a horde up on round 6 or lower just to get the dragon heads done. On round 6, I do finish my last dragon head so I can grab the Wrath of the Ancients, and now I have to upgrade a bow, so I decided to choose the storm bow because it's the easiest one, of course, and I know that by heart pretty much now. And if you're playing offline, or if you're playing with multiple people, you have to do 4 bows, which has to suck. I would not want to do 4 bows by myself. And basically, to start the storm bow upgrade, you just shoot that where I shot right there. It drops the broken arrow for the storm bow, and I didn't pick it up just yet. I bought the bowie knife so I can maximize points. And then once you pick up the broken arrow, you have to shoot these campfires. I do the first one first try. This one, though, I have a little bit more trouble with. It's kind of hard to aim at it. You gotta kind of aim a little bit above the mountain and then jump at the same time. It's kind of complicated. The last one, you have to go to the rocket station to hit, but you can shoot it from here. It's kind of hard to, and I just shot one last time and expected not to hit it, but I did, and I was surprised, so I just saved so much time and points by doing that. For the next step, you have to wall run with the anti-gravity on, and you have to step on all those kind of like wind things or whatever you want to say. And once you do that, that's the next step done. And also, if you fall off, you fail it, so make sure not to fall off while you're doing the wall running. I also build the shield just so I take less damage and I feel a lot safer with it on. For the next step, there's these urns around the map that have electricity surrounding them, and then you have to kill 5 zombies around it. And then if you get a charged shot, go near it, you get electricity surrounding your charged shot, and then you have to go back to the campfires and shoot them all over again with your electricity surrounding your arrows. I do decide not to do the easier one. I decided to do the harder one because it's closer here. And I will say that was a pretty good idea. The next urn is in this area where the buildable kind of place is. It's not that hard. It's kind of tight if you don't have a good weapon, but I mean the Wrath of the Ancients on the earlier rounds is good enough to take care of the zombies. Then I use the teleporter to teleport to the rocket station, and the last urn is just right there, very easy to see. Then I shoot my last campfire with the charge shot with the electricity surrounding it, and now I'm on the last step, which really isn't even a step. You just have to interact with where you shot and got the broken arrow originally. Gives you the fully repaired arrow, and then you have to place it into where the pyramid area is. I also do get a pack punch, and then I pack punch my ammo 6. Yeah, I kept it because it is literally the second best gun to take care of the final boss, which is the keeper for this map. The XM53 being the best, but I couldn't be bothered to get it. I also turn on the death ray so I can get my first part to the Ragnarok, and then once the death ray finishes, I can walk over here to the pad and then launch me, and I get the first part to the Ragnaroks. And then basically now, to actually get the Stormbow, you need to interact with it there. It gives you free max ammo, and then you have to fill it up with around 30 souls, I'm pretty sure. And then boom, just like that, we have the Stormbow. But I do pick it up just because it's nice to look at. I don't know. But I do have to put it away because I need to grab the Wrath of their Ancients so I can shoot the teleporter's kind of edges with the spears, and then it activates the next step. I do grab stamina because these next couple of steps require you to run around the map a lot, and they are timed as well, so it's just nice to get around the map quicker. And I also do grab double tap because it just makes the panzers easier to deal with. So basically for this next step, I need to shoot all the spears right there. And once they're all orange, then you're on to the next step because you'll hear a sort of margwa sound. And now this is why I need stamina. I'm on the wisp step, which requires you to run around the map a lot looking for electricity that's going to a random object, I guess you could say. And it's kind of like, I figured out that basically if it goes to a location, it's going to go to another location that's really close to it or something like that around it. So if it doesn't go to the car, it's not going to go to the car at all. But I mean, I don't really know. I'm not a speedrunner. This is one of the locations, and that's what it basically looks like. It's just electricity surrounding an object. But I failed it because I shot it with my Wrath of Ancients and not my Stormbow. The Panzer also spawned in. Not really that big of a deal. I was able to deal with them and get the second part to the Ragnarok. And because I figured out you need to shoot the wisp with the Stormbow, I managed to do it. And then I could use the teleporter to teleport back in time and grab the items I need to continue with the Easter egg. And basically what you need is this canister, and then there's another thing that you need that I picked up. I was just spamming E all over the place. And at the same time, you need to do this fast because then Dr. Groff will input a code that you need to input, and you need to remember what it is, because if you don't, you have to go to the next round, complete the wisp step again, and then find the code. See, the code for me is rocket lightning lightning. That's basically how I remember it. And basically you have to insert this right here and then switch the death ray to protect. Then you can run over to the panel over here and then insert that code that you got from Dr. Groff. So for me, it was rocket lightning lightning. And then after that, I can insert that into there, so that's fine. Then I switched it back to destroy, and now I have to do basically Simon Says, which isn't that bad. You just really just a memory game, so as long as you have pretty good memory, you'll be able to do this stuff with ease. Before I do it though, I do make a crawler, so it makes the step a lot easier, and then I'm able to do the Simon Says with ease. And basically a code pops up in the order, so it'd be D circle lightning rocket, and basically I just say that to myself over and over: D circle lightning rocket, D circle lightning rocket, and whatever pops up, I just say the order and then I input the code. You have to do that, I'd say, like about 7-8 times, and then you have to do it at the rocket station again. Then I'm doing the second one at the rocket station, and I complete it, so I'm moving on to the next step. Then there will be a green light on the death ray, and you can basically send Ultimus Dempsey back to Earth, which is pretty cool, the kind of animation for this. It takes a little bit, but after it starts going really fast, and then he basically just crashes into the clock tower, and then he gets sending down, and my screen shakes like crazy. Then I have to teleport back in time, and then I have to wait for this box to open. But really, I actually have to interact with the computer, which Codename Pizza later told me, and I felt like an idiot. Mr. Waffle Waffles, you are not the best guides anymore for me. Codename Pizza is best. Basically, you put the Vril device inside that sort of place where you get the Wrath of the Ancients, and then a Ghost Keeper spawns in. You have to kill zombies in like a sort of circle that he spawns in, but you need to open up that crate because it gives you a tile that you can put into a square that's not there. And because I didn't do that, and I didn't yet figure out how to do it, I had to go back and do the wisp step again, which is awesome. If I was doing this step offline, I would have to get all the bows just to do this one step. It would be so annoying, but luckily I'm playing online, so I just need to kill them with the storm bow. And as you see, this last one, you do need that tile from the crate, so I have to go back and do the wisp step so I can get it. And I did figure out you have to interact with a computer, which Codename Pizza told me, and it opens up the box immediately. which Mr. Waffles told me that you just have to wait. What a liar. Seriously, a lot of these Easter eggs are just people that rushed out the Easter egg guides so they can get more views and instead of quality. Basically, you have to interact with that kind of computer and then it opens up the box to get the last tile. So now I'm able to put the tile on and continue on with filling up the keeper with souls. Then I'm doing the last one, and also a panzer spawning at this moment, which was pretty scary. Luckily, I got a death machine to easily deal with him. Basically, the keeper goes into this middle area and it creates a kind of pyramid, and then you have to place that last canister in, and then you can go into the boss fight by placing your Ragnaroks. I still need the Ragnaroks, which is funny. I still don't have it because I still need to do the rocket test just to get it. I got that done, and then I managed to build the Ragnaroks, and now I'm basically ready for the boss fight. There's not really much else I need. I did decide to get it in plain sight. It just makes the boss fight feel a lot safer in case you get trapped in the corner. Then you have to stand on the tile, place the Ragnaroks, and it teleports you to the boss fight, which it's pretty easy with that Pack-a-Punch MR6. This also changes all the zombies models to skeletons, which I find to be pretty cool. And basically, whenever he kind of goes in the middle, there will be this blue orb of electricity. You place your Ragnaroks there, and then as soon as he touches the ground, it will weaken him, and then you can start shooting him in the chest, and it's pretty easy. You just spam the crap out of him with your MR6. It takes like a clip and a half, and he's done, and that's the first stage. There's 3 stages to this. Then after that, he'll disappear, and then 2 panzers will spawn in, which it's kind of hard to deal with when all you have is the Stormbow and the MR6 Pack-a-Punch. It's mainly the KRM or shotgun that you want, but that's not going to do any damage, and I wouldn't need Meal Kick, so I wouldn't need to sacrifice stamina for Meal Kick, which is not really that worth it. Luckily, though, the game does give you a max ammo every single time you kind of get rid of the keeper, and it goes to this step, which is nice. And as soon as you complete the panzer steps, you always get a max ammo. So that's nice, but killing them with the MR6 Pack-a-Punch is kind of difficult, and I almost ran out of ammo and probably would have had to restart. This part got a little intense because I did fail the third part, or third stage of trying to kill him for real. And then I had to recharge my Ragnaroks, which I almost ran out of ammo, but I just managed to get my Ragnaroks back and finish him off. And once you complete the boss fight, you pick up the summoning key, place it here, and then a whole bunch of rockets just get sent flying to the moon, and it's a pretty epic cutscene in-game. And then basically we got the cutscene where only Primus Richtofen knows that they have to take out Optimus Dempsey, and the other Primus characters don't know that, and they have to take out all the Optimus characters, so it kind of looks like to them that Richtofen's betraying them. But really, he just wants to fix the universe. But then Primus Dempsey says he wants to take out Optimus Dempsey himself, and so he does that, and then we move on to Zetsubou no Shima. So basically what happens is in the intro cutscene, they get captured by the Japanese, and they basically escape and have the summoning key, and now they have to find Ultimus Takeo and get his soul. So I first pick up a bucket, which is pretty important throughout the entirety of me playing Zetsubou. And on round 3, I look at what the skull symbol is for spawn, and then I just run over to open up this door so I can grab the skull I need. And then it's basically kind of like a ritual. A bunch of zombies spawn in. I wish they gave you at least some kind of points because I am wasting ammo on them so they don't attack the skull and destroy it. And then I get trapped in the corner and die. This is like the very first Easter egg that I actually had trouble completing. It's mainly because the Thrashers. I love this map. I would put it in A and S tier, but it's the Thrashers that drive it down to like B or C tier, honestly. This time though, I did a lot better, and I did my second skull ritual, and then I just start opening up the map, grabbing the blue water, and then turning on the power in this area. And I also grab my first shield part. I also grab my first part to the gas mask, and then I also buy the ICR, which is probably my second favorite gun in the entirety of zombies, and it's also the strongest in BO3. I get my second shield part, and then I turn on power in this area, and then I have a limited amount of time to open up the door so I can get the actual power on. So I open up this door, and I just pre-fire every single zombie so no Thrasher spawns in, but sadly a Thrasher does spawn in. Luckily it's an early round and I have the ICR to deal with them easily. I also open up this area so I can grab the last shield part, and I'm gonna seriously be honest with you, the entirety of this Easter egg was easy because it's literally 3/4 of the Easter eggs just you setting up, and then 1/4 is just you getting those like 2 things that you need to actually use the elevator to get down the Warthogios. It's actually funny. So I've set up on this map a pretty good amount of times. I've gotten the Mesmer, so I pretty much know 3/4 of the Easter eggs by heart. I open up this area to get my first pack-a-punch part, I guess you should say. I got my second pack-a-punch part, which is in the water here, but I'm not done yet. I swim down here so I can get my very first part to the KT4. And then to get the last pack-a-punch part, I just need to kill a little bit of zombies in this area, not too difficult. I did get trapped, so I had to use my anywhere but here, and I didn't know this. It teleports you outside of this area, and then you just automatically complete it. The zombies from this area still do come out and try and get you, but you get the points from them, which is even better. So honestly, I'm gonna start using anywhere right here when I'm in this area now. So now I'm able to turn on power and then get the last part to the pack-a-punch. I got my second parts to the gas mask and then start my third skull. What I don't like is that on your third skull ritual, you do get a thrasher and I just don't like that the thrasher, he gives you no reward. Like, if he's gonna be that strong, he should give you something good. Like, I don't know, maybe 2,000, 3,000 points. That would make up for how strong he is. Not in the higher rounds. The only way to kill him even on round 20, the only way to kill him is with the skull, and that's so annoying. Round 9, I did my last skull ritual and got a red screen from spiders, and I decided to use my anywhere but here, which is a good thing because I would have died to that spider that shot me with that web. And I'm doing my keeper ritual, and the keepers are so like underwhelming. They're one shot to anything on any round, so it's just so easy doing this. And I get my skull, obviously one of the best specialist weapons on Black Ops 3, and maybe the sword's better, I'm not sure. I kind of like the skull a little bit more. Then I have to mesmerize this area, and then super quickly, while I still have my specialist, run over to where I got the plant for the first part for the KT4, and then mesmerize the wall next to it. This will allow me to plant a seed in there, which I need to water with rainbow water so I can get the upgraded part to the KT4. And then somehow, on the same round, the last zombie was the zombie that gave me the second part to the KT4. I also got a spider round on round 11, so I'm able to get the last part to the KT4, and now I can build it. By double tap, I'm also able to open up this area with the KT4, which lets me do the spider boss fight. Extremely easy if I'm being honest. And this allows me to take the fang from the spider, and that's the first part of the upgrade KT4. I buy stamina as well, of course, just so I can run around the map a lot quicker. Now for the next part, what I need to do is go into this tunnel, or the sewer, I guess you'd say, and then when you see that blue rock, you have to hold interact, and you get the rainbow water. And now I can put a plant in here, water it, and then I can just end the round, and then water again, and you have to do that every single round, because if you miss a round, you won't be able to get the upgraded KT4 part. And then while I'm waiting for the round to end, I just do my challenge, because you need to do all your challenges so you can get the lightning to strike, and then you can get the last part to the KT4. So I just train up zombies, because my challenge is to kill zombies with the plane trap, which is pretty easy. The plane trap, though, I've died to it before, as you remember Adam. My last challenge was to kill a mutated zombie before it comes in rage, which I had no idea what that meant, but it turns out what that means is that you have to kill a thrasher before it gets mad and starts running, which is nearly impossible, but because you need to use the skull. And then I was checking out my challenge rewards, and I didn't know what that perk bottle meant. It actually, what I found out is it means that you get an extra perk slot, which I had no idea that was the case. I would have bought what was mine. And then once you complete all your challenges, the lightning will randomly strike. You have to hold out your shield, run through it, and then you have to take your shield with the electricity surrounding it over to the cage. You shock that, and then you can enter the cage and get the last part to the KT4. And then I also get the plant here, so now I can actually upgrade the KT4 to the Masamune. And then basically what I have to do now is grab blue water, plant some seeds, then water it with the blue water, and then shoot it with the Masamune, and then repeat that for 3 rounds, and then I get a big bullet. And then I figured, why not go back to here where the skulls are and see if I can get a lightning strike, and I got it first try as soon as I got there, which is amazing. And then basically you need to shock the zipline with your shield, and then you go use it, and then you have to knife instantly. Do not knife. If you go off of that platform, do not knife at all, because you'll just die instantly. You'll fall off the map and die. And also, a thrasher just climbed up here, and they just kept on climbing up, but luckily I had the skull ready, so I could just easily kill him. Right here, I took my first down, because I told you before, the zombies swipe really fast on this game. You need to always be paying attention. Basically, that bullet that I got, I loaded it into there, and then you need to wait for the exact moment. You need to line it up, shoot the shot, and then you have to make sure it hits the plane. That's why you should always make sure you plant 2 or 3 seeds even, and so you have 2 or 3 shots at doing it, and you don't have to wait extra rounds just to get an extra shot, which is nice. But I got a first try, which is awesome. This lets me pick up my second cog. Now to get the last cog, you need to have anywhere but here. Yeah, you need to level up to get it. If you don't have it, which sucks, but it's not that big a deal. Anywhere but here isn't that hard to get. And then it doesn't matter where you use it, you just need to pop it, and then you can get the final cog you need to use the elevator and go find Takio. And then you need to mesmerize that, and then you can place all 3 of the cogs to turn on the elevator. And I also tried to get in plain sight, of course, just because I didn't want to die in the boss fight this far in. So then I use the elevator, and then it takes me down to the boss fight, which really the boss fight is super easy. You just run around, and then whenever you can shoot Takio or the Thrasher's weak points, you just shoot it, and then the boss fight ends in a blink of an eye. It is super simple. Just avoid Takio's attacks and you'll never die. It is crazy though, the amount of Thrashers that spawn, and I had like 4 or 5 Thrashers at one point coming after me, which was pretty scary, but all I had to do was just run around and they could never get me. And after shooting the last weak point of Takio, everything despawns and we get put in the cutscene. Basically what happens is Primus Takio and Ultimus Takio have a talk, and Primus Takio finds out that Ultimus Takio got betrayed by the Emperor, and he's shocked by this, and so they perform a thing where they basically end his life, end his suffering, and then they collect his soul. He basically had a whole bunch of plant experiments done on him, which, judging by looking at him, he does not look in good shape. But that was Zetsubou. Moving on to Gorod Krovi. This was the map that I was like most scared of. Now, Gorod Krovi's intro cutscene starts off with our 4 Primus characters falling from the sky, and this is actually cool. They came from Alcatraz, or Mob of the Dead, you could say, which is supposed to be where Blood of the Dead takes place. They're supposed to go to Blood of the Dead after Zetsubou, and then they get trapped in there in Black Ops 4, and that's basically how Blood of the Dead is made, which I didn't know. I just learned that. And now basically we're in Russia. We're here to collect Ultimus Nikolai's soul, the drunk Russian. He does not want to cooperate with anybody. So then on round 5, I have a lot of points from that double points that I got in round 4, and so I back quick arrive, and then I start opening up the map all the way to power. I also get my first shield part, and I gotta say this Gorod Krovi shield is definitely the best shield in Black Ops 3. I get power on, and then I buy the Bowie knife so I can maximize points. Then I get my first Dragon Code cylinder. I get the blue one, which is just right here, and then I need to defend a Gorf module that drops from the sky. I get my second Dragon Code cylinder, which is the yellow one. It's in the supply depot, which is on the left side of the Dragon Command, which I didn't know that. I didn't know if the yellow one was on the left or on the right, so I just was completely guessing. And then on round 7, I buy Juggernog, of course. I build the shield, of course, and it's so good. The 3 charges that it gets is so good. It just kills the Manglers instantly. It kills the Valkyries instantly. It's so good. Also, like usual, I buy double tap. I place all my parts into the network circuit, and then I can finally activate the Dragon Command controller or whatever that lets me go to Pack Punch. I also take this. It's kind of a trap. You only have a limited time, otherwise you'll die from it. So I managed to get the HVK, which is just there. I didn't know it was there, but it's cool that it is, so I can buy my favorite weapon. Then I call in the dragon and I ride it. It's so cool that there's just in-game cutscenes of you riding the dragon to Pack Punch. And then remember that egg that I shot down in my Gorod Krovi first time playing it video? Oh yeah, we have to use that now. Then I start this lockdown that just has a bunch of manglers and zombies that I have to deal with so I can get the dragon strike. I should have Pack-a-Punched my HVK first. I barely got through this. I literally ran out of ammo on my Haymaker and HVK, and I had to resort to using my shield and my Bowie knife. As you see right here, I'm literally using in plain sight to try and kill this Mangler of my Bowie knife, and luckily, that was the end of it, so I was able to Pack-Punch my HVK. And I was also able to get my Dragon Strike, which allows me to get one of the trophies I need to complete the Easter egg. Then I need to place my Dragon Egg here and wait for the dragon to breathe fire on it, and then I need to wait around to cool it off. So the dragon does finally breathe fire on the egg, so I'm able to just get that over with and wait an entire round so it can cool off. On round 14, I got lucky and I got the Ray Gun Mark III, which is awesome. And now I'm able to retrieve my dragon egg, and what I have to do now is kill zombies that are on fire from the dragon fire, which is weird. And then after that, I need to kill 2 zombies with 1 bullet, and of course that can easily be done with an insta kill or something, or if you have a sniper that can easily be done, but I just use an insta kill. Finally, after waiting in this area for so long, the dragon breathes fire, and then all the zombies catch on fire, so now I'm able to do this challenge. And now I got an insta kill from a zombie in the same round, which is really lucky, so I'm able to kill 2 zombies with 1 bullet easily. I go back to the Pack-a-Punch area and Pack-a-Punch my Ray Gun Mark III, but really why I went here was because I have to put my kind of dragon egg in a sort of pod, and then it creates a lockdown, which It's really easy, honestly. So now I'm able to pick up the dragon egg, and what I can do now is get my special weapon, which apparently crashes your game on the higher rounds. I also shoot this light here. I'm not sure what that does. I'm pretty sure that activates a thing that lets you get a trophy. I don't know how to get my specialist for some reason. You literally just go up to where your challenges are, and then it comes up, like a skeleton comes up, and you're able to pick it up. But it didn't matter. Now I was doing the code cylinder step, which this is the reason when I was younger why I didn't know how to complete the Gorod krovi Easter egg. Really, it's actually easier than I thought. You just find the green light and wherever the pink code cylinder is, and then you just input that into a website, and then it gives you the code. It's so easy. So I do find where my pink code cylinder is, so I insert that into my website that I have open. Then I call the dragon at this location. If you call the dragon at 3 different locations, you get the dragon wings, which makes it so you take less fire damage, which, I mean, obviously would be useful for the boss fight. On the next round, though, I'm able to activate the generator again, which allows me to do the valve step. Then I find where the green light is, and I'm able to insert that in, and it gives me the codes that I need to input for all the valves. Moving on to the trophy step. The first trophy is up there. You just gotta shoot it, and then it falls down. Very easy, and then I pick it up. The second one's also really easy. You just use your shield bash next to double tap, and then the second one pops out. To get the next one, you need to use your dragon strike, like I said, on this pawn, and then the next trophy will pop out. And then I use the laser trap to get my 4th trophy. Not really anything too special there. I also find another trophy in that toilet, and then the last trophy's in the safe. You have to use your specialist to get it out, which I don't know if the specialist can crash your game on the early rounds. I know definitely for the high rounds it can. I'm able to interact with here, place all the trophies, and then it just spins around with whatever trophy it wants. The last trophy you always get is trophy number 5, which is the lockdown again. But the scariest trophy to get is definitely the bomb one. It's pretty scary. If you mess up, you will die. The one that I got though was basically a Gorf module one. This one's pretty easy. You just have to defend the Gorf module from zombies. You can just spam the crap out of your ray gun Mark III and nothing will happen. What I do like is that no zombies spawn from behind you. They only spawn and try to attack the Gorf module, which is nice. Once you complete it, they do start spawning in, and then you have to use your specialist, your little dragon, which is kind of cute, to grab the part that's from there, and then moving on to the next step. The next challenge that I get is the first challenge. It's called the Gersh challenge. Basically what you have to do is find an orb around the map. I think it's Dr. Groff or something like that, and you just have to, you can spam him actually, and he can never move around the map at all, which is funny, but I did fail that, so I did have to run around the map a little bit. I did literally just have to spam shoot the orb, and he would never be able to move, and then it would be the challenge done, but I was getting overwhelmed by zombies, so I had to focus on that as well. The next challenge I got was the Mangler challenge. Basically, you have to look for a green-eyed Mangler, and most of the time he's in the tank station, and he wasn't in my game, so that was good. And basically what you have to do is shoot off his arm, and I was told that you can't use a pack-a-punch weapon, but I did anyways, and it didn't really do anything. I still shot off his arm easily. Basically, just bring him over here, and then that's basically it, and then that's the challenge. Now, the next challenge that I got was the bomb step, or whatever, the bomb challenge. It's not as, it sounds scary, and it is scary. It can end your game. But really, you have a pretty good amount of time to get all of them. So as long as you're moving fast and you know where all the locations are, you're fine. Basically, what it does is it shows on the screen the order that you need to defuse the bombs. Because if you do it out of order, or if you run out of time, the bombs will explode and kill you instantly. So you need to pause basically whenever a green light flashes of what location you need, and then just write that down in a Google Doc or something, or write that down on a piece of paper, and then literally all I did was look at the locations of the bombs, and that's it. The second last trophy that I got was the Valkyrie one, which basically you just find a broken Valkyrie and spawn, then you just escort it all the way back to Dragon Command. It's really easy. All you have to do is spam the Ray Gun Mark III slow effect, and that's it. Now for the last trophy, this will always be your last challenge, so you don't even have to worry about this one. This one's really easy. All you have to do is go to the Pack-a-Punch area and then start sort of lockdown again, and all you have to do, kill, I think there's like 6 or 8 Manglers. All you have to do is just leave one Mangler and run around in a circle until the downloading progress is complete, and then that's it. So now I'm able to deposit the key card in, and that's all the trophies done. And then after all that's done, Sophia will give you the power cards, which then you need to give to Nikolai. So basically you just use your dragon specialist, and then the little dragon will bring it to Nikolai, and then that's it. And then after that's done, Sophia will break free, and then you'll be able to enter the boss fight because she was the one blocking that from us. So now we're able to go into the sewers and then enter where the boss fight is, which is literally funny. It's just behind spawn. Like, you're telling me that literally we had to do all that, give the power cores to Nikolai, when all we had to do was just climb over there and then just like get Nikolai's soul. Are you serious? Now for the first part of this boss fight, you're actually fighting the dragon that breathes fire over the place, which is pretty cool. And Nikolai's on our side, so basically he's weakening the dragon and then we're firing at it, but it's really easy with the Raygun Mark III, honestly. And then I'm on the last stage of this part of the boss fight, and then the dragon does this sort of attack that kills me literally instantly. And this is scary because I'm this close to completing the boss fight first try, and now I have no jug, no stamina, or double tap. I somehow managed to complete the dragon part of the boss fight, which is awesome. But so now the Nikolai part is really easy because literally all you have to do is pop in plain sight, and you can kill Nikolai in like 5 seconds. So basically, we tell Nikolai that he needs to be erased, or we need to collect his soul in order for the universe to be fixed. And of course, he doesn't accept that because he's drunk, of course. So as soon as we get back into the boss fight, we pop in plain sight. So he stands still, and then we just shoot his 2 lights in the middle, then we shoot the 2 shoulders on the top, and then we shoot the middle, and then he dies instantly with in plain sight. It's so broken that you can get that part done like that. And the fact that my in plain sight ran out just as I beat him was insane. And now we get to the cutscene. Basically, Primus Nikolai says how their wife was killed in bombing, and Ultimus Nikolai doesn't like that, so he shoots him with the MR6, I mean the best weapon. And then luckily Primus Nikolai had armor on, so he shoots him with the KRM, and then they collect his soul off. But that was Gorod Krovi. Moving on to the final map. Wow! Now the final map, Revelation, starts off with the intro cutscene showing that the kids, that's I'm pretty sure supposed to be the Primus crew. I'm not 100% sure. But the Primus crew that we are actually comes through the teleporter, and then it kind of corrupts everything. Well, they don't corrupt everything. It's Maxis because he lets the Shadow Man free in the summoning key. Now, Revelations was an easy one because it has the Apothecary Servant, Thundergun, Ragnaroks, and Loarnes, of course. But it was also annoying because I got to the last step before the boss fight, the summoning key part, and then the summoning key would not go away, so I had to restart. It was so annoying and so frustrating. On round 1, I get my first red screen. I start my first generator, which is really easy, and then I buy Quick Revive and start opening up the map. I got my first shield part, and it's nice because it's the Krovi shield, the overpowered one. I do my second generator, buy the HVK. If I can buy the HVK, I'm always gonna buy it. I grabbed the first part to the Keeper, and I literally never built this thing. I didn't even know this thing existed. I do my third generator, and then do my last generator. And I also turn on the anti-gravity and the eisendrache part of the map, so I can get the last part of the shield, which I find on the wall right here. And I also get the last part to that Keeper thing. Then I do the first step of the Easter egg now. Basically, you have to shoot these gravestones in the order 2, 3, 1, 4, and then that starts the Easter egg. Then I teleport to Noct, go upstairs and buy Juggernog. And of course, while I'm here, I build a shield. I also managed to trap the Apothecary, which is awesome. And then after you shoot the gravestones, there will be a triangle that spawns in. The first location's at Mob, the second's at Baruch, going to Kino, and then the third location's at Shang. Now, I got it at Shang, which is 100% the worst place you can get it at. It's so hard to defend if you don't have any good guns, especially since I only have the HVK. I do have double tap, though. And then basically, you just call in the Keeper Protector. I think that's what he's called. And then you just bring him over to the triangle, and then he'll start a sort of ritual. And you have to defend him for 3 minutes, and all the zombies will go after him. You can't let him get hit too much, otherwise you have to spend 5,000 points again to resummon him and do the ritual again. Then Zmarg was slamming the crap out of him, but I killed him from behind. I don't even know. I wasn't even aiming at his head. After the Keeper Protector is done, you will drop a audio reel, and then you have to place that in Noctur and Totem. After you do that, you have to get Lil Arnie's for the next step and the Apothecary Servant. So I managed to get a Fire Sale and I get Lil Arnie's, which is awesome. And I also managed to get the Apothecary Servant, which is even better. So now I do the process of upgrading the Apothecary Servant. It's really simple. There's just blue rocks around the map, and then you gotta shoot, I think, only 5 of them There's more than that, I'm pretty sure though. Now I go inside the Bothkin and I have to put my little armies in these like sort of little holes. So I do the first one, the second one, and the third one, and then 3 Margwas spawn in. And this part is quite annoying. You have to get lucky and get a max ammo from the Margwas that you kill. Otherwise you have to wait till you get a max ammo naturally. I do get a max ammo, so I do my other 3, so I throw one in there. And then I go to do my second one, and somehow I mess this up, and now I have to wait for another max ammo, which is just lovely. Luckily, I got another max ammo, so I was able to throw it in there, and now I get 3 Margwas while the green mist is around, so I'm able to get the Margwas down for the God helmet. Or, well, actually, it's called the God mask. I never knew this as well. The Margwas also get trapped in the Ragnaroks like the Panzers do, which I never knew. That's pretty cool. After you finish up killing all the Margwas, you have to do one more time after that time that I did. You get another audio reel, and then you place it in Keynote or Totem. Before I left, though, all I had to do was Keepers, and I got the last Keepers, and then that sound means I got the God Mask, so I'm basically indestructible now. I mean, look at the amount of things that the God Mask does. It makes it so you literally can take like 10 hits. It's actually insane. And the next step I'm moving on to is the bone step, which I don't even know how people figured out. Like, seriously, how did people find out that you had to shoot a bone in there and then you had to shoot it with your apothecary server? How did people even see that? So one in Origins, which I have no idea how you even see that. Okay, no, but seriously, how do you even find that one? You literally have to be on the wall. How do you even, like, what? And then this one, like, okay, like, seriously, I don't understand. How much time did you spend to find that? Like, seriously, once you collect all the bones with the apothecary servant, then there will be like sort of a bunch of bones here. Then you gotta shoot with the apothecary servant. Then Sophia's body will come in. You have to shoot that, and then you get another audio reel, which you play in Origins. And once you start playing in Origins, you can instantly start doing this step. You have to shoot the blue rocks with the sort of generators that you filled up, and then it powers up Sophia like that. You know, that spear that was in Gorod Krovi. That's Sophia. You use all the generators to shoot the blue rocks to power up Sophia. Then you gotta just follow her to Keynote or Town and use the teleporter to go to the bedroom inside the house and get the Chronorium. Also, there's just a random chessboard with the teddy bear like playing, and it looks like a draw to me, honestly. After getting the Chronorium, you have to place it there, and then it starts the apothecary step where you have to find apothecary things around the map, and then you have to place them in the apothecary, and then you have to fill them up with utensils, and then you get a gate worm, and then you have to place it somewhere. It's so weird. It takes so long as well. I also managed to get the Thunder Gun out of the mystery box, which is awesome. I also found where the apothecary egg is, and then I also figured out that if the apothecary egg, for example, went to Keynote or Totem, it's not going to go there anymore. It has to go to a different place. And then basically you find where the gate worm goes, and then it will make a beeping sound. As soon as you get closer, it will start beeping really fast. You place it, and then you get a symbol, and then that you basically repeat that for 4 times. And once you get all 4 symbols, you can go on here, and it teleports you to, it's not the boss fight yet, but this kind of is harder than the boss fight, if I'm being really honest. Basically, you interact with the Chronorium. It gives you your 4 symbols in an order, and you have to memorize that, because then you have to actually place it in order. If you mess up, it will teleport you back to Kino, and you'll have to wait an extra round, which I do not want to do. It was also really weird. Like, half of the symbol wasn't even getting shown for some reason. Basically, you just look at the symbol that you got in order, and then you just interact with it, and then you do that until you have all 4 symbols in the order. After you do that, it will start this kind of is harder than the actual boss fight with the Shadow Man. It basically is all 4 elements of the Margwas, and once you kill 2 Margwas, then it will change the element. And once you get rid of all 4 elements, that you end the boss fight, or mini boss fight, I guess you could say. Well, this really isn't the boss fight, but it is harder. You get to pick up the summoning key, and then you have to do the next step. If I had to say the scariest one, it's definitely this one, because the lightning can kill you almost instantly, and there's nothing you can do about it. Once you beat the boss, you pick up the summoning key, and then you have to find 7 items around the map, and then hit it with the summoning key, and then you go to the Shadow Man boss fight. The next one they have to hit is this Clock Tower in eisendrache, very easy to see. Next one's in Shang. It's just pretty much a purple orb or something like that, and then a monkey bomb appears, and that's that one. And also the summoning key hit me for some reason. Not sure if I would have died from that, but I have the God Mask, so I'm pretty much indestructible, like I said. This one's in Origins. You just throw it at that tombstone, and that's it. Next one's in Mob. You just throw it in that prison cell, and then that's pretty much that one done. And then there's another one in Brook. You gotta throw it at the top of the fountain, and then there's that. Last one's in Noct, but you gotta be careful. You have to melee just before you go through the portal to Noct. Otherwise, you're gonna lose the summoning key, and you have to knock yourself. And last time when I lost the summoning key, I got all 7 of the items I needed to throw a summoning key at, but the summoning key didn't go in. I wasn't able to beat the boss fight. And I was going to do it first try too, which is annoying. But luckily, I managed to do it this game. Now, basically, you have to interact with this thing, and then you have to fill the summoning key with souls, around 10. And then you throw the summoning key at Sophia, and then she weakens the Shadow Man, and you can start shooting him and get him in the apothecary and activate the Chronorium, and then you basically beat the Easter egg. So what I did was I threw that at Lorne, I picked up the summoning key, threw it at Sophia, and then I did have the Dingo, which was nice, so I started spraying the crap out of the Shadow Man, and I got him in the apothecary, so I was able to use the Chronorium. And then beat the Revelations Easter egg for the first time. It's mainly the God Helmet that carried me, though. I got a question, though. Where's my 1 million XP? Because you're supposed to get that, but I didn't get anything. And then basically the cutscene starts off with Maxis and Sophia kind of sacrificing themselves, so the Apothecans are no longer there. And Maxis is in the summoning key as well. So basically, Dr. Monty says he can start making it nice again. But he says the Permis character shouldn't be there, but they have the blood vial, so they can still exist, which he doesn't like, because then the Apothecons can probably still exist. So he kind of just sends them back to Origins, and the cycle continues. And that was all the Black Ops 3 Zombies Easter eggs in 2023. I honestly had a really fun time doing this. It was really fun to start, like, actually enjoying the story and actually like learning about it more. If you want to see me do Black Ops 4 Easter eggs, let me know. That would be pretty cool to follow where the Ether story ends, and it's pretty sad. Technically the Ether story actually ended there, but it was a continuation.